Welcome to our explainer. Today, we are talking about something truly incredible, the connection between a simple, rhythmic beat and the profound health of our brain. We're going to explore how music is so much more than entertainment. It's a tool that can literally help rebuild and rewire the brain.
I mean, that sounds almost like science fiction, right? Can a simple rhythm, a tune who hum, actually help repair neurological damage? That's the big question we're unpacking today. And you know what? The research is pointing to a pretty resounding yes.
So, to get a sense of why this is so important, you just have to look at the scale of the challenge we're facing. According to the World Alzheimer's Report, there are 9.9 million new cases of dementia every single year. That number is just staggering, and it shows why we desperately need new, effective ways to help. So, how do we start to tackle a problem that big? Well, it turns out that before dementia really takes hold, there's this critical, earlier stage. And it's a window where we can actually step in and make a huge difference. This stage is called mild cognitive impairment, or MCI. You can think of it like a warning light from your brain. It's a state where someone starts to notice a real decline in their memory or thinking. But, and this is key, they can still manage their day-to-day life. This is the moment to intervene. And MCI is definitely not some rare condition. In the US alone, it affects more than a quarter of everyone over the age of 65. And if you look globally, you see really similar numbers. We're talking about millions and millions of people living in this pre-dementia state right now. Now here's the really scary part, the progression. A huge review of dozens of studies found that nearly 40% of people diagnosed with MCI will go on to develop full-blown dementia. And that's exactly why finding a therapy that can slow this down or even stop it is one of the most important goals in medicine today. Okay, so where does music come into all of this? Well, to get that, we first need to understand how our brain creates its own internal rhythm, just to do something as simple as walk. It's a really elegant system, actually. So in a healthy brain, when you decide to walk, a signal shoots down this very specific neural superhighway. It's called the basal ganglia thalamocortical network, or BGTC for short. Just think of it as the brain's autopilot for movement. It's what makes your steps smooth, even, and totally automatic. You don't even have to think about it. But in conditions like Parkinson's or MCI, that superhighway gets damaged. It's like there's a massive, permanent traffic jam. The signal for movement gets stuck or it gets distorted. And the result is exactly what we see on the outside. Movements become slow, hard to start, and uncoordinated. But here, and this is so cool, here is where the magic happens. The brain has this amazing built-in workaround. When you hear an external rhythm, like a song, your brain doesn't try to force the signal through that blocked highway. No way. Instead, it opens up a side road, a different network called the cerebellar thalamic cortical, or CTC network. That beat literally creates a detour, letting the movement signal bypass the damage completely. It's like a natural brain hack. And this incredible biological trick isn't just a fun fact. It's the actual foundation for a really targeted and non-invasive therapy that's showing some absolutely amazing results. The official name for this is Rhythmic Auditory Stimulation Movement Training, or RASMT. It's a mouthful, I know. But the idea is super simple. You do a rhythmic movement, like walking or drumming, while listening to a steady beat. You are literally actively helping your brain use that bypass route we just talked about. Now, there are two main ways to do this. You can use an external cue, which is just listening to a song or a metronome, or you can use an internal cue where you generate the rhythm yourself by singing or humming as you move. Both work. But it turns out that using your own internal rhythm has a really fascinating advantage. A person in one of the studies summed it up perfectly. They said, the problem with the metronome was that once you lost it, there was no way to find your way back. See, with an internal cue, like your own voice, you're in control. You can pause, reset, and find that rhythm again yourself. It's just so much more adaptable. Okay, so the science behind this is beautiful, and the theory is really compelling. But the big question is always, does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at what the clinical trials have to say. We're going to look at the gold standard of evidence, a huge meta-analysis. This is where scientists combine the results from lots of high-quality studies to get one powerful answer. They looked at the effect of this RASMT therapy on patients with cognitive issues. And the conclusion? It works. The therapy leads to statistically significant improvements across the board.
So let's break that down a bit. First up, attention. The studies found that people who did the rhythm therapy showed a major boost in their ability to focus and pay attention when compared to people who didn't. It's like that consistent beat helps train the brain to stay on task.
Next, let's talk about memory. And guess what? We see the exact same powerful pattern here. The groups that used music therapy had a really significant improvement in their memory. This tells us the benefits are going way beyond just helping with movement. It's tapping into our core cognitive skills. And finally, executive function. This is our brain's CEO, the part that helps us plan, organize, and make decisions. And once again, a significant improvement for the music therapy group. The evidence here is just crystal clear. This isn't some placebo effect. It's a real, measurable boost to the brain. But the power of music therapy doesn't even stop there, with thinking and memory. The impact is holistic, really, touching on almost every aspect of a person's well-being. Just look at this range of benefits. It's not just about memory. Studies show it can seriously reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. For people with Parkinson's, things like singing can improve speech and even help with swallowing. And on a chemical level, music lights up the brain's reward circuits, releasing those feel-good chemicals like dopamine. Plus, when you do it in a group, it builds these amazing social connections. And maybe one of the most powerful statistics is this one. In a major study, the adherence rate, that's the percentage of people who actually stuck with the therapy program, was 93%. 93! That's almost unheard of. It tells you that patients don't just put up with this therapy. They actually enjoy it. They're motivated to do it. It feels like an activity, not a chore.
Okay, so if we put all of this together, what does an ideal evidence-based music therapy program actually look like?
The research is actually specific enough to give us a kind of prescription for the best results. The most effective programs had people playing percussion instruments. That really seems to lock in that brain-body connection. The ideal schedule, about 30 to 60 minutes a session, 2 or 3 times a week, and you've got to stick with it for more than 12 weeks to get those really solid, lasting benefits. So all of this leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. As we search for treatments that are effective, but also accessible, non-invasive, and maybe even enjoyable, we might just find that one of our best tools has been right here with us the whole time. Is it possible the future of neurological rehab isn't just found in a pill bottle, but on a playlist? It's a pretty incredible thought. Thanks for joining me.